Good evening, everyone. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. I make a motion to open the public hearing for the Lake Carmel Fire Department contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We finally have our 2024 contract for Lake Carmel, and tonight we're just going to, we'll do it after. Okay. We're just going to approve the contract so we can get them their money and everything can continue rolling on. Any board comment?
No.
This was a formality. We were just waiting for the contract. It had been a little hold up on both sides, we'll say.
Madam Supervisor, Town Board, Bill Walters, the Chairman of the Board, Lake Carmel Fire Department. Just want to let you think, this is not a normal procedure that we generally go through at public hearing and stuff, but one of the reasons that we needed to do it this time was because purchasing of apparatus and stuff has gotten to be so expensive that we have to go out and lease it. So it's part of the requirements that we now, IRS now requires us to do these public notices and stuff like that. So that's the main reason why we're doing it here. And if anybody else got a question, we can always answer them, or at least try.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Any public comment? I make a,
Glasses on so I can see the public. No comments.
okay. I make a motion to close the public hearing for the Lake Carmel Fire Department contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We're gonna vote on it tonight.
Okay. All right, Nancy, tell me the wording so I don't have to read this whole thing.
Enter as though read.
All right. I make a motion to pass a resolution authorizing the contract with the Lake Carmel Fire Department. Enter as so read. Say
As
that now.
though read, yes.
Enter as so read. Is that it?
Yes.
What do you have to read? That's so much.
Just go down to now therefore
Isn't
be
this whole
resolved.
thing?
No.
The whole contract's
No,
a part of it.
it's-
Oh, never
no,
mind.
No.
I can just read the resolution. I don't have to do the whole contract.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
I didn't want to get stuck into reading 10 pages. All right, I make a resolution authorizing the contract with the Lake Carmel Fire Department. Whereas the town of Kent desires to contract with the Lake Carmel Fire Department, Inc., the department, for the provision of fire protection services to the Lake Carmel Fire Protection District Number 1, the district, during the 2024 calendar year. A full and complete copy of the aforementioned contract that I'm not going to read is annexed here to, referred to herein as the contract. And whereas a duly noticed public hearing on the proposed contract is held by the town board on March 5th, 2024, at which all interested persons had a full and complete opportunity to be heard. And whereas the town board wishes to approve the proposed contract, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby approves the terms of the proposed contract between the town and the department of the for the provision of fire protection services to the district during the 2024 calendar years in the form annexed hereto, and be it further resolved that the town supervisor is hereby authorized and directed to execute the proposed contract in the form annexed hereto or in substantially the same form as annexed hereto, subject to approval of the town supervisor and the town attorney and any and all other documents as necessary to give full effect to this resolution. Be it further resolved that the town board hereby approves and ratifies any and all acts of the town supervisor and any other town employees regarding the foregoing taken prior to the adoption hereof. There's no end to this. I make this motion.
Before I second, I will second it, but if Lana, you'll do roll call, so this way we'll be official.
Oh, okay. That's what you were saying?
Yes.
Supervisor McLaughlin?
Here.
Councilwoman Campbell?
Present.
Councilman Tempori?
Here.
Councilman Ruthven?
Here.
Councilman Boyd?
Here.
All present.
Thank you.
Now I will second Chris's resolution.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Good, Chairman. Now we can move on to number 2 and do roll call.
Okay.
All right. Moving along. We have received a resignation from the zoning board from Travis Hunt. So we are going to regrettably accept his resignation tonight, and then also I'd like to authorize our town clerk to advertise for the position.
Second.
No, I have to make, I have to make a resolution. I was just telling you what we were doing.
You didn't make a motion?
No, I'm just telling you what that item is on
Alright.
the agenda. If there's any comment,
Pretty straightforward.
I know.
Try to move this along, guys. I didn't eat my dinner yet.
All right. So now do you want to read the resolution?
All right, I make a motion to pass a resolution accepting the resignation of a member and advertising for the new members of the Zoning Board of Appeals. Whereas the town of Kent wishes to accept the resignation of Travis Hunt as a member of the Zoning Board of Appeals, and whereas the town board of the town of Kent wishes to advertise for applicants for the vacant position on the Zoning Board of Appeals. Now therefore be resolved, the town board accepts the resignation of Travis Hunt as a member of the Zoning Board of Appeals with thanks for his service, and be it further resolved, the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes his town clerk, Yolanda D. Capelli, to advertise for applicants to the town of Kent Zoning Board of Appeals. I make this motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. It is that time of year again that we start planning for our 4th of July fireworks. And we've contacted the company that we've been using, and the only date that they had available due to the way that 4th of July falls this year is June 29th with a rain date of June 30th. So I'm asking for us to authorize the contract tonight, and so we can start preparing for our fireworks. Any
No comment?
slim pickings for dates?
One choice.
Well, that was the only day that they could really offer with a rain date as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. All right. Somebody down there want to take one?
Got it. I make a motion to adopt a resolution approving the agreement for the July 4th Ever Fireworks, Inc. and Rocco Polifrone, between the town of Kent and the company. Whereas the town of Kent is in receipt of a proposed agreement with July 4th Ever Fireworks, Inc. and Rocco Polifrone for the annual 4th of July fireworks display to be sponsored by the town of Kent on June 29th, 2024, with a rain date of June 30th, 2024. And whereas the fee for the fireworks display is $10,000 and the agreement requires a deposit of $1,000 in order to secure the fireworks display and date, and whereas the town board of the town of Kent has determined that the agreement is in the best interest of the town and desires to enter into the agreement. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby approves the agreement with July 4th Ever Fireworks, Inc. and Rocco Polifrone in the form annexed here too, and authorizes payment of the fee for the display in the amount not to exceed $10,000, which includes a $1,000 deposit to July 4th Ever Fireworks, Inc. and Rocco Polifrone. And be it further resolved, the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes supervisor to execute any and all documents necessary to give effect to this resolution. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Our next item is more just an FYI and not a voting item. We have to change our April meetings because April 2nd, which is a Tuesday, we are a primary location for the county, so we can't use the courtroom that day. So we're going to have the meetings in April. They will be the 9th and the 16th. So just letting everyone know now that those are our meeting dates for April. Good. We don't really have a choice, so,
And I may have golf, but that's okay.
well, it can't work, we can't work.
I know, I'm just saying, I don't know what.
Okay. All right. Next item is to advertise for bids for the cemetery mowing. We go out every 2 years to have the cemeteries around town mowed, and this is the year. So I'm asking the board to approve tonight for us to go out to bid so that we can, once the weather starts warming up, we'll be all set to have the cemeteries mowed and taken care of. Any comments?
Just, is the contract for it here, or is this just to go out to bid?
We're just going out to bid.
All right, so usually on the bid, it's, what is it, twice a month for a certain month to a certain month, April to October or something like that?
Something like that.
All right, okay.
We have those bids. We
Do you
have.
want to see the specs before they go out to bid?
No, I just want to make sure we're not doing Memorial Day to Labor Day or something. Let's make sure
No.
we follow
You know
what
what?
we did
I
in the
don't
past.
remember, but I'll send
I
it to
think it's April to
everybody.
I think
October.
it is too.
Okay. All right.
Any comments on the cemetery mowing?
These are just cemeteries like Revolutionary War, older cemeteries.
That needs to be taken care of because
Historic cemeteries in the town.
Okay.
Abandoned.
Abandoned.
Very good.
I think so.
I make a motion to pass a resolution authorizing the town clerk to advertise for bids for mowing and cleanup services for cemeteries, whereas pursuant to town law 291 title to every lot which has been used as a cemetery for a period of 14 years vested in the town, and the town board is charged with the maintenance of abandoned cemeteries, and whereas the town of Kent wishes to advertise for bids for mowing and cleanup services for cemeteries maintained by the town of Kent, and whereas the town board of the town of Kent wishes to authorize its town clerk, Yolanda D. Capelli, to advertise for bids for mowing and cleanup services for cemeteries, now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes its town clerk, Yolanda D. Capelli, to advertise for bids for mowing and cleanup services for cemeteries located in the town of Kent. I make this motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
See, I left that long one for Ann at the end.
Thanks.
Our next item is from our assessor. He was approached by a resident to purchase 3 parcels of town property that are on his current property. He's made an offer of $3,250 for the properties, and then they will go back on the tax roll.
Is that for each property?
No, that's for the 3 total. You should have a map. I think you have.
There's his property.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
small-
that's a
there.
nothing.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, they're not,
Yeah.
okay, they're tiny.
And they also are on his, so no one would be
Yeah,
able,
that-
no one
that's
else would be able to
completely in
use
this block, yeah.
those
All right.
properties. Any public comment?
So he did explain things, because when I looked it up, it looked like it was paper roads, and he said they're not the paper roads. But it did say that they are Park District property. If the Park District property is attached to a property that's not in the Park District, do they then become Park District residents?
Is this Lake Carmel Park District?
It says Lake Car, if you look it up on Putnam ImageMate, it says Lake Carmel Park District.
So the 3 little parcels are in the Park District, but his property's not?
Well, it's just like Mount Hope Road. You can go up the road, and this side is Lake Carmel, and this side is not.
Yeah, but these 3 parcels are all on the same side of the road, literally touching his property.
But maybe that was the front of it. Yeah, I know, I did see the map, John, but I'm just saying that I looked it up,
Okay.
because I did my due diligence.
I
But they're
can't-
not dedicated for park purposes.
But are they on a tax map of Lake Carmel?
They have their own section, block and lot numbers,
Right.
so they must be on a tax map.
Kathy, I'm confused. How could these 3 little parcels be in the Park District and his not? I think he's gotta be in the Park District too.
Well, I
Okay,
think
when
all
I
the
was
property in the
supervisor-
area is in the park
Yeah.
district, but
Yeah.
it's not a park in the way that you think, because park properties cannot be demapped as park properties without legislation from the state of New York. But this isn't really a
Right,
park,
it's
it's
not
more
like
a
this.
This is
district.
in the Park
District.
District. And I think that's your
That's the
question, right, Kathy?
distinction.
Right, Town of Kent, Lake Carmel Park District.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your question?
I was questioning that if it's Lake Carmel Park District, and that part of Hillside might not be in the Park District, because years ago, I had gotten a call, and a man said, how come we're not plowed? And I looked it up, and it was because Hillside wasn't a town road at the time, and he wasn't in the Park District, so he wasn't getting sanitation, he wasn't getting anything. So I'm saying, I believe that I looked up the larger parcel, and it isn't, I don't see where it's paying the taxes for the Park District. So I'm just saying, are those 3 lots now going to make that parcel the Park District? Or do you say this, do you put something in the resolution that says this will go to that property, but it's not?
I'm gonna come over to you because I'm still really confused.
Okay.
Here's the map. How can this parcel, and this parcel be in the Park District and that parcel not be in the Park District? The Park District doesn't go around these 3 parcels, does it?
These parcels have the Lake Carmel lot numbers. The lot numbers are on
So give me the lot number of that one.
this one, if you take a look at the larger map. This is his property right here. This-
So where are these 3 parcels on the map?
You're right here alongside the berries in this previous area. See, this is his,
How did that piece get taken out of the Park District?
probably was in
But these 3 little tiny ones were.
Well, that's like, if you go up Terry Hill, There's property of Bonnie Agnews' house. That's not in the Park District, but it's right off of Terry Hill.
So your question is, once we
Yes.
these, is that automatically put in?
Right, so can that be a stipulation in the,
I have to look into that. I really don't know the answer to that.
See, one of the questions on this is too, by a zoning question. With these lots, there's a quarter acre zoning. Once they merge with this, they lose their quarter acre and they go into the more restrictive. So basically what we're doing is we're taking these out of the
This
quarter
becomes
acre.
one full lot.
Right, we're taking these out of the quarter acre properties and we're making it 1 acre zoning basically. We're going to the zoning because this backs up to Hillendale. But that's why this loses its 5 lot zone, which you couldn't build on here anyway.
No, there's no buildable lots.
so I'm not trying to stop it, I just want to make sure that,
No, I think, so
you
what
know.
do you think on your map, as you can see it quick, is everything over here in the Park District? On this side, these are all Park
These
District
are all,
lots?
these are all.
And this side of the road, and up into here across the paper road?
Yeah, but you see, but then these are large lots, these are big lots here. These are big, that's it, tax rate.
So that's the question we have to.
Well, here, 'cause that's what I'm coming over to show you. Here's the taxes, so there's no Lake Carmel tax on here.
That's what they're saying.
So I know, so then we can put a stipulation in there
Right,
saying
that's-
that,
That it combines to the Lake Carmel Park District,
that it what?
that it becomes part of the Lake Carmel Park District.
No,
Or that
I'd
it's
rather it didn't.
it's not.
Or it
It's
becomes-
not part of it.
One way or the other, it's either in or out,
Yeah.
into the resolution.
Is there any rush on this? Can we put it over just because if it's coming out of the Park District, I imagine that somewhere there's a meets and bounds description of the Park District, and that might have to be altered. So I'd just like to double check and make sure we're not running afoul of anything.
There's no rush, right, Bob?
Yeah, I don't believe
Bob
that.
would know.
Well, the question is, one of the things I've always had on this, is the fact that 32 years selling real estate in the town of Kent, I got become sort of an expert on that stuff.
Could you please use the mic?
The,
Can't hear you, you gotta talk into the mic.
Between the mask and the mic, yeah. Okay.
The Park District land is, it's already subdivided into 100 by 20 lots. So all of this park land is subdivided. It's subdivided already.
This is all.
So all of these lots that we're buying have already been subdivided into 20 by 100 lots.
I understand.
We're just taking them and merging
This is all
them.
Park
It's going to be
District. This is
merged
Park
into one
District, this is
tax
Park
map.
District, but this one is.
So it really doesn't matter. I mean, as soon as we can get rid of this, then it would be great as far as, you get your money, it goes back on the
Any
taxes.
adjustment that we have to make to the boundaries of the Park District now, if we're taking those 3 lots out of the Park District?
Well, that would be up, I would imagine, to the board where you're taking them up or
But what does,
leaving them in.
the problem is that I'm not sure exactly what that entails. If there's a cost involved, do we have to revise a survey or a meets and bounds description somewhere? Is it in the town code? I don't know, so I'd just
I
like some
think it's
time
worth carrying over
to
until
review all those
we
things.
make sure that she gets to review it, don't you?
Okay.
I don't think there's anybody that wants to hold this up, but I think we gotta
No.
look at our legal obligation to it.
I
Okay?
move that we postpone until we can clarify this.
Can you, when you find something out, it's possible to let me know what you want us to do?
Yeah, and I'll make sure that I do my review so we can have it back on for the next meeting if it's not too arduous.
That's
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Right, a second, Ann's,
Oh, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I make a motion to add an item to the agenda for a resignation and hiring in the clerk's office.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we are regrettably accepting Lucy Piero's resignation tonight and accepting or hiring Michelle Netter as of March 18th, 2024 to the clerk's office. Any comments? Lana's interviewed. This is who she feels is the best fit for her department.
okay. We have a resolution.
No, we don't because we just,
Something to beat the mat then.
What was her name?
Michelle Netter. Do you want me to just wing it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I make a motion to accept the resignation of Lucy Piero from the clerk's office and hire Michelle Netter as of March 18th, 2024 to the clerk's office for a salary of $53,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, she'll take on the exact same responsibilities and duties as Lucy had?
Yes.
Okay.
But she'll be here full-time.
Yes.
5 days.
5 days a
instead
week.
of 4. Okay.
Okay. I need to add one more item. Well, actually, Ann needs to add one, and I need to add one. So I'm going to add, I make a motion to add a item to the agenda for our EMS coordinator.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
To continue our process of, let me just say, for our EMS to continue, we need to send a letter to the state to get our municipal certificate to obtain, and it can be a very lengthy process. It can be months and months and months. So tonight, I'm just asking for the board to authorize to us to submit an application so that we can start the process in obtaining our municipal certificate.
Okay.
Any board comments on that?
We have a resolution.
Yes, we do. Any public comment? Okay.
I can read this one if you want.
You have it right, Ann?
Yep.
Okay.
I make a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing submission of an application to the New York State EMS Council to obtain a municipal certificate of need and become an EMS service operating authority for the town of Kent. Whereas providing for the public health and safety is the highest priority for the town of Kent officials, and whereas the timely provision of emergency medical assistance is a matter of vital concern affecting the public health, safety, and welfare of our residents and visitors, and whereas the assurance of pre-hospital emergency care providing prompt and effective treatment and transportation of the sick and injured is critical to a successful patient outcome, and whereas following a review of the current ambulance system serving the town of Kent, its ability to respond to emergent calls, and its ability to provide care to the residents of Kent, the town board believes it is necessary to seek a municipal certificate of need on behalf of the town to obtain operating authority to provide basic life support ambulance services to residents of the town. And whereas under its own operating authority, the town of Kent would ensure continuous availability of emergency medical services, immediate response of emergency medical service personnel, and adequate coverage of the entire town of Kent district, therefore assuring provision of care to the citizens of the town. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent recognizes the need for effective emergency medical service response, care, and transportation, which will be provided by the Town of Kent Emergency Medical Services Division in accordance with the provisions of Public Health Law, Section 3008, parenthesis 7A. And be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Kent has determined that it is necessary, appropriate, and in the best interest of public safety and welfare to obtain operating authority in connection with the provision of ambulance services for the residents of the town of Kent. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes the town supervisor of the town of Kent to make application seeking a municipal certificate of need on behalf of the town of Kent. And be it further resolved that the primary geographic area of this service shall be the town of Kent as indicated on the map attached hereto, Schedule A. And be it further resolved that the supervisor of the town of Kent is directed to file a copy of this resolution with the New York State Department of Health. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's why you plan ahead, so you don't get stuck reading those long ones.
Well, I punted on the land sale, so I figured I had to.
That's like
do
a
this
year
one.
of town of Kent's irregular.
And do you want to?
Sure, I'll talk a little bit about where we are with Climate Smart. So back in 2019, I believe, the town board voted to become a New York State Climate Smart community. This is a program that the state has that provides assistance and funding to municipalities to find ways to save energy and ultimately become designated as climate smart communities. And we are on the brink of being able to apply for bronze level certification with Climate Smart. So I've been going into their portal and uploading the necessary documentation. We still have some work to do. One thing we need to accomplish, actually, that will get us a lot of points is to submit a municipal climate action plan, and I hope to have that available for the board to review at the next meeting. Our goal is to apply by April 5th. That's the next cycle that we could get in on. But one of the things that has to be addressed is that back in 2021, the town board voted officially on January 5th to form the task force that's necessary for this. And the motion to appoint a coordinator did not pass. And then there was a verbal agreement that Councilman Ruthven would be made the coordinator, but no vote took place. And so now I'm in the position of having to upload the resolution appointing the coordinator, and we don't have one. So Chris has been the official coordinator all this time, and actually I'd like to take that over since I've been pretty heavily involved. So we now have a resolution to address this retroactively. So that's where we are with this.
And Councilman Ruthven is happy to hand it over. Correct? Before we take something away from you, you're good?
Congratulations, Ann.
Hey, if you want to run the meetings every month, you got it. Okay, so should I read this too?
Yeah,
I mean, it's...
no board comment, public comment, everyone? Okay.
Okay, I guess I will read it even though I have a vested interest.
I'll read it
I
for
think
you,
that's
how's that?
better.
I make a resolution authorizing the establishment of the Town of Kent Climate Smart Task Force.
It's actually appointing the coordinator. Sorry, I missed that.
Okay. Whereas in October of 2019, the Town Board of the Town of Kent adopted a climate smart resolution and pledged to be a climate smart community and mitigate and reduce greenhouse gas emissions while preparing for impacts of climate change and saving taxpayer dollars. And whereas in order to be certified as a climate smart community, the Town Board was required to and did appoint a climate smart task force, but did not formally appoint a climate smart task force coordinator. And whereas Councilman Ruthven was designated as coordinator of the Climate Smart Task Force with the State of New York, and Councilwoman Campbell has offered to act as coordinator moving forward. Now, therefore, be it resolved, effective as of January 5th, 2021, that the Town Board appoints Councilman Ruthven as the coordinator of the Kent Climate Smart Task Force for the period of January 5th, 2021 through March 4th, 2024, and be it further resolved that effective as of the date of the adoption of this resolution, Councilwoman Ann Campbell is appointed as the coordinator of the Climate Smart Task Force to serve at the pleasure of the Town Board, and be it further resolved, the Town Board has hereby approves and ratifies any and all acts of the Town Supervisor, Councilman Ruthven, and any other town employees regarding the foregoing taken prior to the adoption hereof. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, you're up.
Okay. I ask the board to approve the following vouchers for March 5th, 2024. Campbell Freightliner, $4,621.26 for truck parts. Carmel Central School District, $3,465 for gym rental for January. Danbury Auto Springs, $6,105.64 for highway truck repair. Hogan Rossi and Liguori, $5,416.36 for legal services for January, $5,416.63 for February, $5,416.63 for March. Hudson River Truck and Trailer, $9,901 for a trailer. Kevin P. Irwin, $3,744 for the prosecutor for January and February. Kent Public Library, $7,404 for ARPA. Magna 5 MS, $7,547.57 for network services for March. Millennium Strategies, $3,500 for grant services for February. NICEAG, $2,283.76 for electric for the town hall for February, and $4,638.31 for the police department for February. New York State Municipal Workers Compensation Alliance, $41,788.75 for the second installment of workman's comp. Pitney Bowes Reserve Act, $2,000 for postage. RTI Industries, $55,000 for grinding at the landfill. Laura Roberts, $3,735 for the February prosecutor. Romer Wallens Golden, I get this one wrong every time. Monet, I don't know. $2,881.50 for the Teamster negotiations. State Comptroller, $36,349 for Justice Court in January. Transaxle, $5,012 for truck parts. Windway, $7,423.93 for Lake Carmel garbage. $10,533.44 for Lake Carmel garbage, $6,649.99 for Lake Carmel garbage. And we got one voucher left from 2023, Kevin P. Irwin, $2,151 for the prosecutor for November and December. Ask the board to approve as read.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Some announcements. On March 23rd, we'll be holding our annual Easter egg hunt at Ryan's Field. If you're interested, go to the Town of Kent Recreation page and sign up, as well as our ongoing Little League rec softball and baseball. We're signing that up now. We're hoping to be out on the field soon because we're hoping there's no more snow and hopefully not a lot of rain. And then one topic that we normally don't address here, but I think in light of recent events that we need to, is the entire board, I think I can speak on all of our behalf, was disgusted to hear of the deficit in the Carmel Central School District budget. We can't really do anything as the town, we have no say, but I think that we can come up with a statement, a letter, and urge them to get an auditor to come in from the state and try to figure this out, because I don't know how $6 million just isn't there. And, you know, I've seen, they're coming up with ideas of, you know, closing a school, you know, and it's upsetting to everyone, but we have to figure out a way to get this under control, because our school taxes are ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And they're only gonna go up from here, and our residents can't afford it. So, you know, again, we can't do much except voice our concerns and write a letter, but that's.
Right, we don't have a legal or regulatory option from here, but we do have.
But we're all residents, and.
Right, we have a leadership option
Yes.
to stand up for and protect the people of the town of Kent. I did speak with Matt Slater today. He was as concerned as we are about it, and he's going to look at talking to the comptroller and see what they can do about looking into it also.
One of my big concerns was that I feel like they're trying to sell safety to the parents. We want our kids to be safe, absolutely. And then when you read through it, and safety is air conditioners that they're spending money on. You know, we want our kids to be safe.
Wait, my kids don't have air conditioning in school, though.
Well, in order to keep them safe, apparently the air conditioners are gonna do the job. So I think they just, you know, they need to be held accountable. Is there?
Yeah, considering the part of the budget that their budget is $140 million through tax levy. The town of Kent pays 47% of that. The entire Kent is in the Carmel School District, and so that means that we're on the hook for, you know, basically a little less than half of that, $70 million. Considering our budget is $41 million, and we do quite a bit with that money, you got to say, what is it that they've been doing with the hard-earned money of our taxpayers? So we're definitely going to look into it.
I mean, I feel like here we try to cut corners. I mean, we can't cut much more here, but we try every single year.
Yeah. So more to come for sure on it.
Yes. And you want to give some announcements?
Is anyone going to talk about the cleanup? Town
Do you
cleanup?
want to?
I just saw that email the other day. It's still preliminary. I think it's Earth Day, which is April, so we'll do it at the next
22nd?
meeting.
Yeah, we'll have more on it next time,
because
but
I'll
probably
have
the
to-
20th, Saturday the 20th.
I think the
of
same
April.
thing, Kevin, we did last year. Just pick up supplies at the PD headquarters that morning. We'll try to get community leaders, if that's the best word, that want to do, I know Hill and Dale did it. There was a group up off of Farmers Mills, so we'll get more in it. But it basically will follow the same model that we had last year, where you can just come and pick up leaf bags, garbage bags, and other items that you can use to help the townwide cleanup day, which will be on Earth Day, which I'm not sure the date.
Well, Earth Day is
Well, Earth
actually
Day
April
itself is,
22nd,
yeah,
isn't it?
it'll
Yeah.
probably
I
be
think
the
it's that
Saturday, the 20th.
Correct. And I know Walt was organizing something with the Lake Carmel Parks District, again, the same thing they did last year. They had a contest.
Yeah, they do a great job.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're looking for those orange garbage bags, I could be sure to get somebody to help us with money to donate to purchase them. Just give me an idea of how many garbage bags you think we'll need.
Great. So, a couple from the library, speaking of Earth Day, you can register by March 15th to get a tree that you can then plant in honor of Earth Day. And it appears that the library is forming a teen advisory board. They're going to be meeting for the first time on Monday, May 13th, and they will serve pizza. And there was one other I wanted to mention. A lot of the same programs that you've been hearing about from me. Lego Club is still going. Homework help on Wednesday afternoons is still going. Pause to read, and so forth. And then there's the workshop this coming Saturday on college costs at 11 a.m.
Chris will be there.
Right. Thanks. And much more on the website, as always.
I forgot to do this one, I'm sorry, but since Lake Carmel Fire Department's here, on Sunday, April 14th, they will have their open house and community safety day from 10 to 1. Any other?
The Welcome to Kent signs.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Sue, they found it.
We found the Welcome to Kent sign that was knocked down. It was,
We didn't.
200 yards down the road, the highway
we didn't,
department found
Richie
it.
found,
Richie did it.
and yes, it was not in great condition,
They
but
rebuilt
they're
it.
refurbishing it as we speak. Well, not right now, but every day they've been working on it.
Because there was a piece of plywood, but I didn't think that was that.
No, they have it in the highway department right now.
No.
They
Yeah.
just got it a couple days ago.
And I'm gonna tell you, I went up there looking where it was, all around in the brush. They said it was way down the road,
What'd they say, 300 feet or something?
200 yards.
Pretty bad shape, too.
It
Yeah, it
was.
was really beat up, like something ran it over, and I think it was when those guys were clearing the power lines up over that rock. I think they probably, yeah, around. Because that's kind of when it disappeared, was when they were working down there.
But
That's
it's
good
going,
news. I was excited to hear that.
it's going to look better than before. So,
All right.
all right, any public comment?
No, I have one last thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sunday is the Westchester Putnam St. Patrick's Day Parade in Mayapack, so if anybody wants to go, I think it kicks off at 10 o'clock. It runs right along Route 6 there in Mayapack. 2 o'clock, it's that late? Okay, so you get there at 10, you can pregame. Sunday at 2, okay. And with that in mind, happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone.
Bob, do you want to say something?
I just have a couple of questions. I understand that the Radoviches aren't doing the financial collection for the fireworks. And I hear through the grapevine that somebody is asking the Arts Center to do it, use our 501(c). And if that is, we have no problem doing that, but if somebody can tell us what to do, we would certainly appreciate it.
I think I also worked with Jackie today with the Historical Society for the Kent, and they may also do it.
They may also do, all right, I just found out the thing.
Yeah.
My second question is, when you're looking up this thing with the Lake Carmel, when you look through the tax maps, and going back to the thing with the purchase of the lots, there's an exempt town of Kent, and then there's an exempt town of Kent Park Department on these lots. Is there a difference?
I don't know.
So it's interesting, and Kathy's had me looking at lots all over Lake Carmel for years. Some of them say Town of Kent, some of them say Park District, and why that designation, I almost think it was just, it ended up being municipal property, and whether it was in the Park District, and sometimes they called it Town of Kent, sometimes they called it Park District. It's really strange how sometimes they're named one way or the other. But I think, so let me ask you, let's go back to the Park District line. When I think of the Park District, I think of a pretty designated, solid line around it designating it. But now when I look at this map, that thing's got to be jagged with lots going in and out. And whatever designated the line of the Park District?
There's like, 13 maps of Lake Carmel.
Yeah, but if you're going down a
When a
street,
district is initiated, there's generally a map, plan, and report that's generated by an engineer on behalf of the town, and that's where the
But this-
boundaries would be set forth.
this is a case where you would think like, okay, this side of the road is the Park District, this side of the road isn't the Park District. But in this specific example, we're talking about a lot that has two little pieces on the same road that are, and the big lot isn't. It's really strange. You're not using the road as your delineation. It's like, oh, we're just gonna cut that lot out of it and,
Like I said, if you go up Terry Hill, at the very top, to the right, the edge of the property is 17 acres surrounded by Lake Carmel Park District.
but isn't, a portion of that is in Patterson too, isn't it?
No, that's all.
That line comes right down over that hill right there.
Yeah, but the line is down further. It's down right past their house.
All right, I know the farm you're talking about.
Yeah, that was the reason that was done was they came in a whole lot of years ago and they wanted to change it to the Lake Carmel zoning with the quarter-acre zoning. And they were told no by the zoning board. And to keep it as one particular lot. It's an historic building. It was built in the late, I think the late 1700s. It's one of the original Dutch colonial barns that are found in the area.
That's
And it's
probably
really
a good reason why it
fantastic
wasn't in the
place.
Park District, is because they were
Yeah.
pre-existing when the Park District was formed.
Well, it was a farm. I mean, up until relatively recently, there were horses there. And it's, but the Lake Carmel Park District, if you take a look at one of the maps, the small maps, they go all over the place. But the lots that were in question here are, it says exempt town of Kent. It doesn't say Park District. And I've just, no one's been able to give me an answer as to if there's a particular difference at all. And I have one more question is,
Exempt as for taxes.
well, exempt means, well, it would be owned by the town of Kent. But the fact is there a difference between where it says Park District and where it says Town of Kent? That was just my, if we can find that out, please, thank
I'll
you
find
very
out.
much.
Well, it would be good to find out, because if there's other properties like this around, we don't know.
Yeah, yeah. And I just have one more question. This is for you, Chris. What happened to Alf?
Excuse me?
I was curious as what happened to Alf Witten,
I still don't, I'm sorry.
the plaque that was in Town Hall, Alf Witten, the
Oh, it's
supervisor.
here. We
Oh, I
have
have
it
it.
right
Is it
here in
here?
the
Yes, I
conference
have it.
room.
I was curious because I didn't see it in the Town Hall, and you had told me.
No, we
they
brought it
took
up. I
out.
brought in a guy that I know that does bronze statues and stuff and
Yeah.
showed it to him, and
Yeah.
he says you gotta be real careful cleaning that
Right.
wall paint, like the 10 years of wall paint
Yeah,
off the sides
yeah.
of there. You could damage the plaque, so we gotta have it professionally cleaned up.
I have a whole history of him that I looked up and I wrote out. I was going to send it to the Historical Society, but if you're interested, I'll send you a copy.
Well, when we get it hung up there, maybe we can put a little
right.
blurb of it underneath the plaque, so people know what they're looking at.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Bob.
Good evening, Bill Walters, Building Inspector, different hat. We're coming up into that time of year. We've been talking about property cleanup. Spring's coming. Talk about cleanup around the town. Just so that everybody knows, because there's been a big change in the town with population, so that everybody knows. Lately, we've been getting a lot of phone calls. Burning, open burning. New York State has a ban on open burning starting March 15th, and it runs till May 15th. This burn ban has been in effect for nearly 20 years. So people who've been around here for a long time shouldn't be able to say, oh, I didn't know. We've got our ticket books, we've got new pencils coming in, so sharpen them up. And I say that jokingly, but I mean, every year we have one or two big fires, and if we call DEC in, you could be paying a significant fine to New York State DEC, never mind the town. So there is no open burning. If you live in the Park District provides you with leaf bags. No leaf burning at all for 20 years now. You're not supposed to be burning leaves, okay? Every year somebody says, can I burn leaves? No burning leaves. No burning trash or refuge. The only thing you're allowed to have is you still are allowed to have a barbecue. And if it's extremely cold, you're allowed to have a small fire for heat to keep yourself warm while you're standing there. Once you walk away, the fire's supposed to go out. Fires need to be attended at all time, okay? We're trying to keep the brush fire season down. Even though we've had quite a bit of rain, and there's quite a bit of rain forecasted this week, things still burn really well this time of the year. So burn ban in effect, March 15th to May 15th. Thank you.
Oh, I have a question for you, Bill. So open burning seems pretty easy as a definition. You have no guard, it's just a pile of brush on the ground, you light it on fire, walk away. Can you burn stuff in a barrel? Can you?
No burning barrels are allowed.
No burning barrels.
Because they don't get enough oxygen. New York State DEC says you can't get enough oxygen and they don't burn complete, so you can't burn. Burning barrels have been banned for a number of years.
In the whole state?
Yeah, in the whole state.
Okay.
Now, you can have these chimeneas and you can have, you know,
Fire pit.
fire pits, they have screens on them, stuff like that, yeah, you can have.
That's what I'm walking to,
Right.
just let
But
people know.
I
that
know
they can-
there's quite a few people on the other side of the town, once you get past Kent School, it seems like it's a whole different world over there. They still have burn barrels.
I have no idea what's over there
I
in
know.
the Kent schools.
Yeah. Probably one in somebody's backyard too, real close. But,
They're doing the burn barrels in Lake Carmel, too.
I know,
There's plenty of people on both sides that are doing it.
I know. But I see more of them on the other side. But you're not supposed, DEC says they're not allowed, okay? Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks.
No burn barrels.
Sue Gotzer, Town of Kent. I have a couple things. The one that I have is for Councilwoman Campbell about the natural resource inventory book. When that book comes out, will that be available for sale
Yes,
to the public?
yes.
Do you
It
have a
will
pro-
also be available as a printable PDF. A rough version of it is on the website now that can be downloaded, but we will have a more final high-resolution version. And I think we're getting a total of 80-some copies.
80?
Yes, some of which will go to the volunteers, the biologists who actually came in and sometimes would spend days at Bill Buck's house going out in the field and helping them find all kinds of rare species. And the remainder will come here to Town Hall and will be available to Planning Board, Zoning Board, and so forth. But I think we will have some additional copies left. The price will be a little bit steep, though. It's quite a large document.
What's steep?
I think the cost per copy is running between around $40 to $45, believe it or not.
Okay.
So you may want to just download the PDF.
Can we get some in the library for
Yeah.
people?
Oh,
to
yes,
go?
there definitely will be copies at the library, and they will have the biodiversity inventory included.
Thank you.
One for the town clerk's office.
Absolutely. And that's why we ordered that many copies.
Okay. Also, you spoke about the school board. I was at a meeting on the 27th of February. They had a Dr. Rich Tibbs give a lengthy presentation, and it is on the school website. So if you go to Board of Ed, and you go about 3 sections down, and you go to videos or agendas and videos, and you can watch what he has to say to the school board. It was very, very interesting and upsetting to hear him speak. There was something else I wanted to ask. Forgot. Anyway,
Yeah, I was there with Sue. I attended that meeting, and the person who spoke very well. But I almost got this Sheriff of Nottingham feel from this guy, as like he just comes into town and just takes all the stuff from the peasants and doesn't really care. All he talked about was raising the tax cap, raise the tax cap, raise the tax cap, and nothing about cutting the budget there, which I was very disappointing
I
to.
don't know. I thought I heard a little differently. So watch the video.
Yeah.
I left at 8:30. I was feeling ill after listening to it.
I heard that, and I didn't see it yet, but I want to watch it. I heard that he kind of did a shock and awe to everybody there. They were just kind of like taken back from what he was saying.
But there really shouldn't have been any shock. I mean, that's a lot of money to,
It is.
okay. All right.
Yeah, definitely watch it.
So the next school board meeting is on March 12th at the
Correct.
Carmel High School. Public starts to speak at 7, if you're interested.
They're having another meeting on Friday, possibly this Friday, at the Carmel High School before the 12th.
This coming Friday? At the high school.
Inside of the
Okay.
It's not open to the public comment at that meeting, but I believe, but,
It will be.
oh, will be, okay.
It's specifically on this topic,
Ah,
Oh.
this Friday.
Great.
sorry, I'll be out of town this weekend.
Anybody else? That's it. I make a motion to go into executive session to discuss a personnel issue.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.